All right, it is 5:29. I think it's time we start. We're good, right? Woo!
All right.
Well, welcome to Trouble in Clue Land. Oh my gosh. Whew. Ooh, who knows what Clue Land is, man? Well, let's get started, okay? So, I want to get to know Clue, okay? So I want you to raise your hands, get a feel for what you all know about the subject matter, okay? So raise your hand. Do you know what Clue Land is? All right. Have you ever played it? Okay. Did you enjoy playing Clue Land? Okay, that's a good vibe. And then,
Fantastic.
if you said no to any of the questions above, just know that you are objectively wrong. So, too bad.
It's canon. You can't change it.
Can't change your mind. You're wrong. Sorry. But I digress. Let's go through some introductions, everyone. So, hi, I'm Lizzie. Nice to meet you. I'm Thick Lizzie. That's what I go by on the interwebs. I don't need to explain my handle, do I? No, I don't think so. However, I've been playing video games since I was like a goo gaga baby. Like I was very little. For some reason, the first thing that came to mind when I was talking about like my infancy was playing Jaws by LJN on the NES. Don't know why that's a core memory, but I remember my father.
That's a bad core memory.
That's a bad core memory. I remember my father unplugging the controller, or my brother, and I'd be like pretending to play while they're actually playing this terrible game. And also, we're going live tonight without me because I'm at MAGFest. I am a co-host on this fun little video game program called The Reset Button on Twitch, twitch.tv/resetpress, with Reset Patrick and Johnny Chase. They're going to go live at 8 p.m. tonight. So if you're not having fun at the convention, you should go watch them. Go support the boys in my absence. And then also, very important to go over my favorite non-Clue Land game. That would be Donkey Kong Country 3, okay? I'm going to stand up for Kiddy Kong any and every day. Donkey Kong Country 2, phenomenal. But 3, even better. I'm going to die on this hill. Yeah?
I don't like Kiddy Kong.
No, he's cute.
He's gormless.
Stop. No, he's just a baby. Why would you be mean to a baby?
He is, no.
Okay, well, let's move on to this fellow.
Hi, everybody. My name's Connor. Yeah, I go by Titan6. It's a handle I made years ago. Don't worry about it. I've been playing video games since I was a child. Since before I could walk, actually.
Same. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, honestly, my favorite non-Clue Land game is Kirby Superstar on the Super Nintendo.
Woo!
I have played that so much.
But not as good as Donkey Kong Country 3.
Sure. And I also have been doing a lot of writing recently. So my blog is connorpfreitas.wordpress.com. That logo there is my blog logo. There's a hidden message in there. If you can decode what it is, great, awesome. You don't get anything, but hey, awesome.
I didn't know there was a code. You never told me.
Yeah, it's.
I don't remember.
Each thing is a letter.
Oh, well, take a picture, and maybe Connor will give you a prize if you could figure it out.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, also, everyone, he's single.
That was way too long. You've ruined it.
But he's ready to mingle,
yeah,
okay?
You'll find out why during this panel. This was my idea.
Anyway, so we're going to start at the very beginning, 1889.
Where time actually began.
Where everything began, the very, very beginning of time. This is our precursor to the presentation, okay? So let's start at the beginning. So Nintendo was founded in 1889 in Kyoto, Japan. I don't have the original building. I think they actually made the original Nintendo building a hotel. Isn't that what they did?
Isn't it like a part hotel, part museum thing or something?
Yeah. I couldn't find photos of that. I don't know.
Not nearly that advanced looking.
No, this is from 1889. This is a photo from 1889.
That is a lovely 1889 photo.
They were really advanced. Japan technology, right?
Yeah.
They were so far ahead. But it was very important that they produced, the big thing with Nintendo that they first started making were Japanese style playing cards. There's Karuta. That's like the top image up there. So that's kind of like a poetry word game. I don't know. I've never played myself and I'm not proficient enough in Japanese. I'm too scared to play it. Maybe I'll eventually have bravery to do it. But like you like match different cards with like different phrases and like It's a whole thing. And then also Hanafuda cards are like highly decorative playing cards. It's kind of like Old Maid, where it's like you get some cards and you only play a couple of games with them if you do play games. But those are like modern versions of Nintendo playing cards, Hanafuda cards.
Yeah,
that
Nintendo
they
actually still makes them, or at least they did years ago. They
I
gave
feel like it was
out
like
as
a Club
Nintendo.
Nintendo. Yeah, it was a Club Nintendo thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Also, they heavily contributed to the rise of Japanese organized crime.
No, Connor, why are you making things up, bro? No. That's not real.
That's not actually true. And if it is, we had no prior knowledge of it.
However, a very important fact that you may have not known about Nintendo is that they are extremely responsible for multiple generations of people not leaving their homes.
Why would you want to leave your home when you have video games?
Wait, what? They make cards, I thought.
I reiterate my statement.
No, they only make cards.
Yeah.
We all play Balatro, right? Yeah. Well, anyway, so the big question is, okay, but why weren't people leaving their homes? Why has Nintendo kept people agoraphobic, not wanting to leave their houses, intentionally not leaving their houses?
Perhaps it's something else that they did.
Not playing cards, no. And what is that? Video games, right?
I completely missed the timing on that, forgive me.
Man, it sounds like someone wasn't staring at a PowerPoint the last 3 days.
Yeah, take a drink every time I mess up a payoff.
Hold on, does someone have
Don't
a drink?
actually do
Oh,
that.
Never mind, we can't.
Take some water.
Staff's
You'll run out of
watching
water
us,
in
we
20
can't
minutes.
do that. Oh wait, okay, after the panel.
Yeah.
So video games is what Nintendo is most known for these days. So, I'll let you take a lead.
So Nintendo had a ton of business ventures over the years they started, but they entered the video gaming scene in the ripe year of 1972. This is when they started doing the laser clay shooting system, basically shooting galleries. This was basically something where in Japan in the 70s, early 70s, they had bowling alleys everywhere. And during an economic recession, they kind of were like, no one's wanting to go to bowling alleys. So they turned them into shooting galleries where you could go and do that. So they also manufactured Pong systems. Little, basically, we would probably call them like plug and plays nowadays, but a little machine that had little rheostat-looking things on it where you could play Pong in your home instead of having to go to a bar.
I don't have to dump quarters?
People. Yeah.
And meet people. Oh, that's why we're staying home.
Yeah. You don't need to go to the bar to play Pong anymore. You can buy a Nintendo Color TV Game 6.
Go to Konbini, buy a pack of Sapporo beer, and drink and play Pong at home. Same experience.
I did that last year.
Last year? Whoa.
I was very bored.
All right, tell us about this now.
So yeah, the Color TV game is basically, instead of having just Pong, they would do different versions of Pong. Sometimes it would have 2 paddles. Sometimes it would have more of them. They do like a high-a-lie kind of thing. It was really interesting, or a more tennis-oriented kind of thing. So that was their first major gaming thing, but they also decided to enter the lucrative arcade industry.
So here's the thing. So Nintendo transitioned to the arcade gaming scene, and they made this super duper amazing, extremely ambitious game, fully designed by Shigeru Miyamoto. I want to hear the drum rolls. Are we ready? Louder, louder, harder. And
that
what is it?
That game is Radar Scope!
Oh my gosh! Generations remember Radar Scope, don't they?
You know Radar Scope, the game, the only arcade game that is like it.
The only arcade game that we all grew up with, the most iconic game ever in the world, am I right?
Annual release every year on consoles, you know.
Do they have it in the museum?
That's awesome.
Oh,
actually,
well,
yeah.
let's go pay our respects to Radar Scope after the panel, okay?
Yes.
Give some blessings. But here's the thing.
Here's the problem. No one cared.
Nobody cared.
No one cared.
Okay? I mean, clearly all of you cared, so I appreciate it.
But yeah, the general public was basically like, no, we don't care. And Nintendo was like, what? Why is our generic spaceship shooter not popular like the Star War?
Well, let me tell you why, Connor.
Hey, maybe it's all of these other games.
All these other games that came out roughly around the same time. A little more iconic than Radar Scope, may I say. Yeah?
I'm a Xevious fan, by the way.
We're a Galaga
Yeah, there we go.
household. I don't know if you knew this. We play. Okay, so this guy bought us a Galaga cab, like the standing, like the desk one. So we're a Galaga house.
Yeah.
Back home. Anyway, so
Fine, I guess.
you know, I think maybe Radar Scope went a little under the radar as a result. Am I right? Yeah.
Ha-cha-cha-cha.
I'm so funny. Well, so faced with a surplus of these super iconic cabs nobody played.
They had tons of Radar Scope cabs that no one cared about, and they had inventories clogging up. So they were like, well, we need to do something with these cabinets. So they decided to repurpose them for another arcade game.
And we need some drum roll. This is the game people actually care about. Okay, we gotta be louder on this one. Are we ready? This is also stock image from my Mac. I love it. It's perfect.
Yeah, that was on the slide already.
Donkey Kong! Yay! Oh man. Okay, that was the cheering we needed for Radar Scope. Poor thing. Well,
So
Donkey Kong,
fun
man.
fact with Donkey Kong, if you see a red Donkey Kong machine, it's a good chance that was originally a Radar Scope machine.
Like rule of thumb.
Yeah.
You can safely assume that.
Although they did them in different colors, so that's not necessarily a 100% indicator. But hey, fun fact.
So let's take a look here. Oh, and also just to make this really clear, everyone. I don't know if I made this clear enough. This is not a Donkey Kong panel. However, if you want us to do one, give that 5-star rating on the guidebook app for this panel and write down, we want Donkey Kong Country 3, the panel, and we will consider it.
We are very grateful to the MAGFest staff for approving this panel. We would like to do another one.
So just keep that in the back of your mind, okay? Maybe next year. So Donkey Kong, kind of sort of like, he's not that big of a deal, is he?
I mean, no, this is a pretty big deal.
Oh, is it?
Pretty
Oh,
big
okay. Well, the big thing with Donkey Kong is that Donkey Kong literally put Nintendo in the spotlight across the world. It wasn't just
way
Japan.
more than they would have had they not done
International
it. Like,
acclaim.
you know,
And here's
Saturday morning cartoon for Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah.
Terrible.
Oh, it was cute.
So the demand was through the roof for this game.
Like insane. People were rabid to play
So
Donkey Kong.
Nintendo said, hey, why don't we do kind of what we did with the TV game thing and make a home console with Donkey Kong as the launch title?
And here's the thing. With releasing Donkey Kong at launch, very, very early in the Famicom cycle, it led to a huge, massive adoption. Like, if people wanted to play it in the arcade, they wanted to play it in their home. So it led to insane sales. That's actually like a really good sales method, let's be real.
And so that led to a massive early adoption of the Famicom, along with some third-party stuff like Load Runner.
Ooh.
Yeah, Jeremy Parrish would love this panel.
So let's take a look here. So in case you don't know what the Famicom is, there might be like 5, 6, 7 of you in the room that
If
doesn't
that.
know what it is, if even. Well, that's the Famicom. Are we familiar? Yes.
The Famicom is short for Famicom.
No, family computer.
I know, I
Family computer. That's what it says up there.
Yeah, that's what that English says. I can see that now.
No. Okay, stop. So I love. Okay, can I just say, I think the Famicom looks way better than the NES. I like the color scheme. It's so cute.
Well, the thing is, that's what it should look like. Most of the ones you'll find now are yellowed, so it
Well,
doesn't look as good.
So is like all the old plastic from back in the day.
Yeah, I've had to deal with
But
that.
I kind
too
of
much.
wish we got this in the States. It's way cuter.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. So the Famicom versus the NES. So let's put some context, okay, as we go forward. There's kind of like a little bit of like a different perspective between games that came out in Japan versus games that came out in North America.
The Japanese release was on July 15th, 1983.
And
The NES's release,
about a year and a half later, October 18th, 1985.
give or take.
Released in New York and LA, big cities.
Yeah, like they did those there, and then when it sold like crazy.
When the proof of concept like lived up to its hype, then they released across the country.
Yeah. So they basically, so the way that this was done is that Famicom games were kind of released steadily from 83 onward.
Yeah, as like developers made games and
And
came up with ideas, right?
So yeah, so like, but the difference between that and the United States is that in the United States we had a big launch lineup for the NES pretty much out of the gate. So you had a ton of stuff in there whereas in they were kind of spoon-fed in Japan in that way. So yeah,
But here's the thing. With the US launch, there was like 1,000,000 games that released on October 18th. But we've had like a year and a half of games collecting and adding up in Japan that are easy to port over and bring to the States. Yeah. So there was a solid 2.5 years worth of games that they could cherry pick upon launch.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. With such an overwhelming launch library, a lot of video games get lost in the mix. So we call them the black box games.
That's the industry or sort of unofficial term, fandom term.
What us nerds call it.
Yes, for the original launch title NES games. And technically this goes from the launch in 85 to around 87. And some include the gray box ones like Kid Icarus, Metroid, Rad Racer.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people, when they're talking about black box, unless you super duper specify, which I don't think anyone cares enough.
You're seeing something that is, look, bold font, graphics that actually look like it's all uniform.
So when we think of like the trauma of the video game crash, I think that was 83 or 84. I can't remember the exact date.
Yeah, because think of like how Atari used to do their games in the late 70s, early 80s.
Like with the complex art, it was like really nice.
Adventure was something where like you look at Adventure and it's got this epic looking Molly Hatchet looking cover, and then you play it and you're a square.
Yeah, and there was like such an oversaturation of so many games that were like crappy, did not live up to the hype, that they chugged and plugged and released, which led to the exhaustion of video games in the early 80s with people being like, there's too much, it's too crap. Where the black box and like the gray box games are like literally you're buying and that's what you're getting. That's what you get. You see what you get. So it's very transparent marketing in terms of, being a family, being a parent, buying something for your children, because they advertised video games as a toy for boys at this time, where it's like easy to pick and see that's what you're gonna get. We're not getting fantastic art to be a square. So, good way to describe it. So, these are the NES black box titles available at the North American launch, and we're gonna go in order of release. So we have, aside from Donkey Kong at the very beginning of the Famicom, so we have, in Japan, 10-Yard Fight, August 10th, 83. Baseball, December of 83. We have tennis, January 84. Pinball, February 84. Wild Gunman, February 84. Duck Hunt, April of 21. April of 21. April of 84. Golf, May of 84. So think about being like an adult with your paychecks or a kid with your allowance. I don't know what the MSRP would be in Japan and how they had like an economic boom in the 80s. So you could like save up and buy a game every month. Like think about it. So let's see, Hogan's Alley, June of 84. Wrecking Crew, July 84. Excite Bike, November 84. Ice Climber, January 85. Soccer, April 85. Gyromite, June of 85. Stack Up, July of 85. Kung Fu. Also, hold on, let's go back. Why were these games released a month apart when it's the only games for Rob?
Yeah, well, and also, Stack Up is barely a video game. It is basically a tech demo that runs on the Honor system.
Oh, Nintendo wouldn't sell a tech demo for $20 in modern times.
Yeah, they sold this for like $60, and you had to buy accessories.
But it's kind of weird that they released them like a month
Literally,
apart.
Stack Up is like, make Rob stack the blocks in this order. Did you do it? Okay, we're going to take your word for it. Play something else now.
Kung Fu came out in June of 85. And
then, of course,
last but not least, Super Mario Brothers, anyone?
It's all right, I guess.
It came out in September of 85, just shy of the American release. And, it's pretty mid. It's all right, right? It's not Donkey Kong. Let me just say anything that's not Donkey Kong or Clue Clue Land.
Yeah, it's a video game.
It's a video game.
It's a video game. You can play it.
But, obviously, everyone was playing Mario Brothers. Oh, I think I forgot to put Duck Hunt in this. Duck Hunt came out sometime.
No, that was in there.
Oh, was it in there? Oh, man. Okay. I feel like
you're the one that spent 3 weeks straight looking at this PowerPoint.
So, when we look at all these titles, there's Mario and Duck Hunt and Excite Bike and a lot of really big games. But again, it leaves there's a lot of games on there that like no one's been playing.
Like, who could have bought that whole launch lineup at the start?
Yeah,
I don't know.
can't
Maybe
afford
there was
that.
someone in New York that was a Gordon Gekko type that could have bought them, whatever. But
Yeah. However, why are we here today, everyone? Clue Clue Land. Oh, the loudest cheer for Clue Clue Land.
I really love your enthusiasm.
Oh my God, thank you. Oh my gosh. So we are here for Clue Clue Land. So let's dive straight in. So if you're not familiar with Clue Clue Land, how dare you? Okay, we took a survey at the beginning.
Look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but if you've never heard of
no,
this,
we're just kidding. We
you're
love
wrong.
you. We are so happy that you
we
are
love you
here.
guys.
We're just teasing.
We really do appreciate it.
So let's start at the beginning. Clue Clue Land is a video game.
And that's
thank
it,
you.
everybody.
That's it. Go home now. No. Okay. Let's be.
So, yeah.
We're being serious now. So the basics of Clue Clue Land. So this was released in November of '84, and
Just in case you need to know 1984.
if you couldn't remember what '84 was. So basically, Clue Clue Land is a maze-style puzzle game, and it's really similar. It's like akin to like Pac-Man. There's bad guys, and there
You're
are
looking at
traps
like a Pac-Man,
to
a
like
lock
make
and
you
chase
lose
kind of
lives.
thing. Casey Munchkin, if you're nasty.
And if it was ever super unclear, we are on the sea floor in Clue Clue Land. I don't know if you knew this.
It doesn't quite look like that, but it is on the sea floor.
And it's absolutely not misleading whatsoever. And the goal of the game is to uncover a bunch of gold ingots to reveal a hidden image on the map. And once the map is unearthed and completed with these gold ingots, it's complete. You beat the level. So we have some captivating gameplay. If I don't hear some oohs or ahs,
Marvel at the graphics of the actual sea floor.
It's just like Atlantis.
What's the image going to be, everybody?
What is it?
Have you found out what it is yet? That would be great if they actually did that.
It looks a little bit like an elephant, I think. Or butterfly. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, psychiatrists need to use that instead of Rorschach tests.
All right, so some facts about Clue Clue Land. So what does Clue Clue Land mean? Connor, please demonstrate.
So, Clue Clue is actually a romanization of the Japanese phrase kuru kuru, and I know I'm not pronouncing that right, but I apologize if I'm not. But it means spinning around and around.
And then land. Okay,
So,
hold my hand.
This took us a bit of work,
We couldn't figure it out, but let me show them.
but we consulted
You
a
guys,
source.
The
and
Oxford
unfortunately-
Dictionary is stuck behind a paywall, and I could not define land for any of you.
So unfortunately, that's just going to be a riddle for the ages.
We don't know what land means, so we know what kudu kudu is. That's to spin, the spinning noise in Japanese.
We're not paying for the Oxford English Dictionary.
So you're cliffhanger next year. Maybe we'll have money for it.
Maybe.
We'll see. I'll take donations. So some facts. I'll let you lead.
Well, it was developed by Nintendo R&D 1, which was their earliest development house, started by Gunpei Yokoi.
Woo!
There you
what
go.
A king!
As
What
you
a
can see,
king!
Gunpei Yokoi was responsible for a lot of Nintendo stuff, including their toys and game systems, and also the Wonder
Handheld.
Swan.
He's the handheld king. Let's be real.
Very
Game Boy
much so.
To Wonder Swan. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And Nintendo R&D 1 is responsible for basically
For the majority of the
for like a
NES's library.
huge like the best games that you could think of on the NES is probably made by R&D 1.
At least Nintendo published stuff.
Yeah, Nintendo specific. So we got like Metroid, Kid Icarus, Game & Watch,
Yeah.
all under the watchful eye of Mr. Yokoi.
Rest in power.
And also the composer Akito Nakatsuka.
Who has done a lot.
He's done a lot of stuff and nobody talks about him. We talk Koji Kondo all the time. Bless him. We love him, right?
Yeah.
But this name is not as familiar for people, but he composed Zelda 2, which has bangers, Excitebike, bangers, Ice Climbers, bangers, Punch-Out, and also Clue Clue Land, duh. This guy has done some really fantastic
Absolute
work.
prolific career.
And I feel like no one talks about him, which is kind of weird. Anyway, I digress. So our protagonist, Bubbles, or they call her Gurupi, in Japanese, but we could Romanize it to Gloopy. And some fun facts.
So Bubbles is actually one of Nintendo's first lady-type video game protagonists.
Yes, girls rule. And here's the only thing. At this time, the only other chicks that we had was Samus in Metroid and the Mach Rider from...
Wait. Samus is a girl?
Okay, you're telling me that Mach Rider's a chick?
Yeah, who doesn't know that Mach Rider is a woman? Who didn't play Versus Mach Rider? Come on. Every arcade had a Versus Mach Rider. That's how you found out.
Okay.
But Samus being a girl... No,
okay.
come on.
Do I need to put up a spoiler tag for the next time we do this?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, probably. Okay, got it. And here's the thing. You control Bubbles, as you saw in that demonstration, you control Bubbles in a single direction, and you use her fins. I hate when people call them hands. Yes, it's drawn as hands. They're fins because she's a fish. Use her fins to spin on any of those peggy post things to maneuver her around the map.
I love that artwork, too. It's so
and then
beautiful.
she has this little sound echo stun ability, which will stun the enemies, okay? So, let us continue. So, second player mode.
The second player mode, you play as Bubbles, but green.
Green instead. And the thing with co-op mode is that you may play simultaneously. But do we call her Bubbles 2 or Luigi?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. I forgot you put that in there. So what, seriously, there's something with Nintendo making the second player green.
There's something
MAGFest
going on.
volunteer Luigi. Anyway.
MAGFest volunteer Luigi.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. That's what it
Anyway. I know you know that. I just thought it'd be funny to say.
So enemies and obstacles. So the bad guys are the Unira. And can you say this for us?
Uni is Japanese for sea urchin.
And here's the thing. The Uni are allegedly, I have to say allegedly in case I am false and wrong. I don't want to be sued. They allegedly steal the gold ingots that Bubbles uncovers on the map.
I am happy to slander the Unira.
That's why they are on the bottom of the seafloor.
Gold-stealing thieves.
Those dastardly little Unira. What the heck? And occasionally you do have like a boss level with the big ones.
Look at that big old guy.
Oh my gosh, it's kind of cute actually. The Cyclops.
That's cute?
Yeah, it's like a little Cyclops Unira. He's cute.
Okay, sure.
And then also your obstacles would be the whirlpools, which if you just walk in, if you just swim into them, Bubbles falls, Bubbles dies. However,
just like real life.
However, you could swing off the posts. When you swing off
If
the
you're
posts,
holding onto a post,
you won't
you'll be
fall
fine.
into the whirlpool.
Yeah.
You got a grip. And yeah, you're safe when you're spinning off the post.
Easier said than done, because it's just the way the game controls.
So continued enemies and obstacles, those bumper walls, that rubber band pink thing, you bounce off of those. I wouldn't say it's necessarily an enemy, but you can unearth one of them and be stuck in a tight place and might not be able to get out easily.
There's a couple levels where they're like right next to each other, and so you'll just be
bouncing indefinitely,
between 'em.
and then an enemy will catch up and find you.
However, if you do the level in a certain way and you
can
don't
avoid it.
uncover them, you can avoid them and not have to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. So it can be proved tricky. I fall for this all the time where I will uncover one and I'll bounce and I'll screw up my path and I'll bump into a bad guy or I'll get stuck in a weird position. Also the timer. And what's with the old video games having a timer? I feel like it's so unnecessary.
I hate timers on especially old console games.
Yeah, I can see an arcade, you want to eat quarters, but
Yeah.
at home, you're at home. Why are we doing
They already
this?
have your money. Like, yeah.
And then also Bubbles fins. Okay, so here's the thing. Not that this is an enemy or an obstacle, but you have to be kind of smart to play this game because
You don't have direct movement.
you don't have
of
direct. She
Bubbles.
just moves. But if you use the right fin, you go clockwise around the post, and if you use the left fin, you go counterclockwise. It's kind of like it gives me like tank control energy.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
much. Like if this
you
was,
have to like actively
yeah.
think of what you're doing to control her. You gotta
and,
get used to it.
And it takes a bit too. Like it's not everyone's.
There
cup
is a
of tea
skill
initially.
curve.
Yeah.
Needless to say.
So,
And then the objects. These are not rubies. They're golden ingots.
Yeah, they're definitely gold ingots. Look at them. They're gold and they're ingots.
We also have little clocks.
You have
and
a clock that
the-
can freeze the timer and the enemies.
Yep. It gives you some benefit. And you can also move. It stuns the urchins, and if you bump them into the wall, they will disappear and give you more bonus points. And then the little flags give you an extra life.
Just like in other games, I think Rally X?
A Rally X? I don't know.
I'll have to look into that. I'll see if there's a Rally X machine in the arcade.
And you'll see little bags of money that are not ingots and various fruits, and they will give you extra points on the board because we must rank ourselves in every video game we play ever.
Yeah, that's how you determine life's worth.
We're only worth whatever high score we have.
I got a high score in Contra at my last job, and they gave me a 50% pay raise, so,
It's really important.
It's a shame that job doesn't exist anymore, but,
Oh, hard times.
Bleh.
So we have various maps. Spoiler alert, these are all the maps.
So if you ever play and you're like, oh, I need to know what that is, that's what these are. One of them's a smiley face, one of them's a heart, one of them is a vaguely humanoid-looking shape that looks like a robot from
One
Berserk.
looks like a house or a mushroom.
Yeah, it's something. It can be
You mean
anything
Fist
you
of the
want, I
North Star?
guess.
And then we have a dog,
Other ones.
an octopus-looking face, a bird-looking thing.
We appear to have the sandbird from
spade.
Mario Sunshine.
I think that's a spade in the bottom right.
Yeah, that's exactly what that looks like.
What else do we have? We have a sub. That looks like an elephant in the top right, or a butterfly. Honestly, a butterfly makes more sense.
The whirlpool, yeah, kind of, yeah.
And then we have another dog. I don't know.
It's an
And
object.
glasses?
Yeah, spectacles of some
Spectacle. Yeah, that's what we assume. And then we got some bigger maps where it's kind of like Pac-Man, where you can go on one side of the map and bleed over on the other. So these are the more advanced. These are like the stages from easy to hard, with the different colors. So yeah, these get a little more complex. And also, I think as the stages progress, I don't get too far. I'm not good at this game. I think she does go faster. It gets pretty whacked out.
If you were good at the game, you would know that.
I know, but I can't get past the red stages at this time. I'm not good.
I get that completely. These purple ones are a pain, but they're
But
really fun when you
I've
need to
seen
put
people
down
play
and
this, and I'm like, damn, how do you have the reflex and the brain capacity? And then the gold, I think, is our last stage.
I believe so. Check them out.
And then also, if you subsequently beat a whole color stage, all 4 of them in a row without dying, you get a bonus stage. And the goal is to reveal as many ingots as possible to get more points.
Spoilers, that's what the bonus stage is. Now you know what it is.
Yeah, don't worry. You're not missing out on much. New Game Plus? Question mark?
Maybe a little bit.
Well, the difficulty increases after you beat the game once through. And here's the thing. We're going on hard mode, everyone. If you go over an ingot you've already revealed, it will disappear. So you're going to have to retrace your steps yet again.
It is very fun, but
Gotta be methodical.
My gosh, is it hard.
So the base game is already challenging, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So now we got disappearing ones. Like, you got to make a path. Be swift, be quick. Don't fall in a whirlpool or touch an Unira. All right, so we have a cool little commercial.
I found this doing research. This is so cool. Check this out.
So let's see a Japanese ad.
Except Urban Champion, this game is awful.
植木鉢やパトカーなどの邪魔も入ります。くるくるランド。
Yeah!
隠れたドアを見つけて21のゲーム面を勝ち進む変化に富んだ面白さ。一人でも二人でも楽しめるアーバンチャンピオンくるくるランド。ファミリーコンピュータ。
Wow, like $45, but inflation, that's probably like $100 now. Let's be real.
Yeah, I was a communications major, so I don't know how to do math.
That's all right. So, as we can tell, I mean, we went on an awfully length and detail about a really simple game.
This game is a basic game, but the thing is it does have impact. But what impact is that?
And what is that? Well, we have the sequel.
The sequel, Clu Clu Land D, or Clu Clu Land D.
These we're bad.
I can't say it. I feel like a jerk.
These
every
nuts. Time. There you go. I said it.
Way to show me up. Okay, great.
So here's the thing.
It's actually subtitled "Welcome to New Clu Clu Land," as you can see by the writing underneath.
Yeah. And here's the thing: Clu Clu Land D is basically the same game,
Pretty much. There are some changes.
Yeah, but the maps are different. They have the same maps, but then more.
Yeah.
So it's bigger, longer, stronger. And also, a fun little thing that Connor noticed.
Well, hey, look at that copyright info in there. It says 1988 in there. It actually came out in 1992.
So someone at Nintendo was brewing on all these extra maps for like a solid 4 years.
They did a couple other games in this sort of like reimagining in that style around that time. So more than likely they're like, yeah, we'll do Clu Clu Land 2, and they just didn't release it until
it was just like
92.
on the back burner for a few years.
Yeah.
So let's take a look. Again, we have similar, but extra. We got spaceships and planes now. Or that could be something else. I don't know. We have an umbrella and another dog. There's a lot of dogs represented in this game.
There's like...
Dogs are cute,
I would love to, I would love to see if they had like a level
a
editor
crab?
or something.
Oh my gosh. That butterfly is a better butterfly. These are actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And a spaceship. There's a moose or a cow.
Actually, that's quite nice.
Those are cute.
Nostrils.
And then we got some other more complex, crazy ones. The crosses.
I would love to see if they had any that they scrapped or something, because just to see what they could make with the pattern set and things like that.
So we could see a lot of repeat maps, but they did add extra. So I feel like this is like, you know how in like JRPGs they have like a plus version a couple of years later? I feel like this is like Clue Land Plus. That's
basically,
essentially what it
it's
is.
pretty much that.
And the gold stages are I look at all those walls. I'm like getting stressed looking at these. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, they should be a pain. So hey, fun fact about it. It's the last, or very, very close to the last, Famicom Disk System game. Came out in '92. To put it in perspective, the Disk System came out in '86-ish. So that's a lot of time. And the cover art is the Japanese Famicom box. Also, if you know where the fun fact GIF came from, you get 10 points.
10 points from
Not just points.
Connor Door. Anyway, so here's the thing. Clue Land D did see a North American release.
In the arcade.
Yay! So we don't have to do a Famicom Disk System, okay? So here is a cab of Clue Land
Versus
D.
Clue Land, as they called it.
Versus Clue Land. That's what we call it.
This is something that... Oh, that cab's beautiful. Look at that thing.
I love the colors pop on the side. It's actually really cute.
I don't know if that's official or if that's a third party, but I really do hope it was official and they made actual vinyl art like this. No, it's lovely.
And here's a Versus system, for example.
So the Nintendo Versus system is really cool. It's basically arcade versions of the home console games that Nintendo made to get people to buy an NES. I played Versus Super Mario Brothers at my dad's work when I was a kid. And I think that was part of the reason why he bought an NES in the first place.
No, that's literally what it did. It self-marketed itself.
If that is what happened, that is definitely...
it worked.
Hey, it worked. But they had different formats you could do. So they had this one, which had 2 games side by side. They had other formats as well.
And like also like the arcade versions are like there's like slight variations. I guess to make it more competitive.
So like Versus Super Mario Brothers has different levels in it in some places.
Yeah.
Or items are placed differently. Or say Versus Excite Bike. Actually, I think some of the tracks might be different. Or Versus Duck Hunt has a mini game where you can shoot the dog.
I didn't know that. That's terrible.
Yeah, I know. It's great,
I mean,
right?
we shouldn't be shooting ducks either. I am the eloquent mistress of duckies with a title pending. Talk to me about my LARP later. Anyway, yeah.
It's fascinating. It's really cool. And there might be one of these in the arcade.
Hopefully. Let's take a look. So we do have an industry advertisement. My favorite thing when I look up arcade game, when I research arcades and pinball, I see an insane amount of industry-based advertisements and spreads for the people that own the bars or the arcade, etc. So we do have this beautiful 2-page spread of the Versus system.
This is
with
like
different variety of cabinets, which are really cool.
Yeah, this is basically like an industry insider. Like, hey, do you like making the money? Well, here we'll make you the money.
So they're trying to sell to the sellers.
Yes.
Yes.
It's basically the industry pitch kind
But
of.
like these spreads are super duper cool.
Like,
I love
you can see the dual system. You can see a standalone one. You can see the red tent off to the side, which is like dual screen on different sides.
Mm-hmm.
Those things. I almost bought one years ago, but it was
shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Not in great shape. It would have taken work to build.
Yeah. So okay, what else? So here's the thing with Clue Land. Aside from its straight up sequel and the Versus system,
A lot of re-releases.
we have multiple re-releases. So Animal Crossing back in the day when we were kiddos, or at least I was a kiddo when Animal Crossing came out, it was kind of like a secret furniture thing that you can get through Red. And they, not just Clue Land, but they have like, there's so many different ways to get these NES.
There's a whole suite of NES games in there.
There's a ton of them, but it's kind of random. You don't know what you're going to get.
Including a couple secret ones.
And some secret ones. And also, Nintendo did do certain events like where you could get like different games and whatnot. So Clu Clu Land D was a special little Nintendo event that they coordinated back.
I love the
25 years
3D
ago.
model of that. That's so cool.
Very cute. And then on the N64 version, Dobutsu Mori, and then Plus is the GameCube one. They made like the art because it was Japan only with the N64 version. They did like a Famicom
Japanese version has Famicom, Wii,
which is cute. I love that they like localized it. And then this is Connor's favorite
So
port.
this is something I actually tried to look into. Clu Clu Land allegedly had a port for the Sharp Zorus, which is a PDA made by Sharp. Now, Nintendo's actually done some collaborations with Sharp in the past. They made the Sharp NES TV, the Sharp Twin Famicom, things like that. But they made ports of Balloon Fight and Clu Clu Land for this PDA. And this is like from... I got this article from like IGN in like 2001.
Like literally 25 years ago
online. I've been looking to see if anyone actually has Clu Clu Land for the Sharp Zorus, or at least to see if I could find proof that it was even existing. I don't know if it was physical or digital or what, but this is literally the extent of what I found. I've asked on Reddit. No one on Reddit could find anything for me.
So we are hungry for knowledge and information. If you have a lead, please, we
If
want to
anyone
see this
happens
play
to
on a
know-
Sharp.
Yeah, if anyone happens to know, please let us know, because we would love to actually see this.
And then, remember Clu Clu Land? It's back in card form. So the e-reader, everyone, okay.
So the Nintendo e-reader, it's Clu Clu Land, but in a format that only nerds would like.
Woo! Like
Yeah,
all
there
of
we
us.
go.
I had one
Always
as a
one.
kid. And here's the thing: so the game is encoded on various cards, typically 5 cards.
So just as a bit of a visual aid here,
We'll have it up in a second.
we'll have it up in a moment.
But you swipe the cards through the e-reader device connected to the Game Boy Advance. And here's the thing: it kind of sucks.
If you're lucky, it'll be done soon. If not, it'll take forever.
Maybe dirty context. The card might be bad.
Well, it's
I
one
don't
of those
know.
things like it's not like swiping a debit card. You got to go slow, and sometimes you'll go
with
too
the right
slow.
pressure. Yeah.
Sometimes your cards could be messed up. Like I did this with Pokemon battle cards back in the day, and it was a pain.
And they released not just Clu Clu Land, they did a ton of black box games. And also, I just wanted to complain 25 years later that the Mario Party e-reader game was a scam. That game was not good.
Yeah,
Would not recommend.
Fun fact, when your game works on the honor system and it's a video game, not a great thing.
So we have our camera. Oh no, I think we have a video first, then our camera. So we have an e-reader ad.
So check this commercial out. Poor Donkey Kong Jr.
Poor baby.
Not nearly as harmless as Kitty Kong.
Stop with the Kitty Kong hate. Oh, this poor little guy.
The game is inside the cards. New e-reader for Game Boy
Oh, it's in the
Advance. Slide the
cards.
cards to play some of your favorite games. E-reader comes with a classic
Game ads
game
were
and a
so
sample
cool back
pack.
then.
More games sold separately. Rated E for everyone.
So yeah, you can see a bunch of other black box games. Poor Donkey Kong Jr. So these are what the cards look like up close for Clu Clu Land in particular.
Yes.
And what's better than pictures? We have video, y'all. Oh my gosh, hello. Look at your beautiful faces. I love you all. Thank you. So I'm going to embarrass Connor and make him swipe the cards.
Okay, yeah, so
got-
we're going
we
to do
got
this.
time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is an e-reader, and this is a Game Boy Advance. I modded this Game Boy Advance myself. So,
Ooh. Oh, it's got a light.
IPS
see if we
LCD
can-
screen.
It might be a little hard to see. Let's see.
So, as you can see on here, once this goes into a thing, I have Excitebike in there right now, because this is actually, I have not swiped anything on this since I bought this back in the day. So we're going to try right now with these lovely Clu Clu Land game cards. We're going to see if we can actually load Clu Clu Land onto this.
And I'm going to make him play because I'm holding the camera for like a second.
Yeah,
we got to finish the PowerPoint.
See just how much of a pain this thing is.
All right, let us demonstrate.
So, let me see if I can do this.
Did
right
you expect
first.
to come to MAGFest to have a live e-reader demonstration? One.
We got one.
We got one. Oh, see, Clu Clu Land, it's showing up. It's acknowledging it. All right,
We
keep
got-
going. Look at that dynamic angle. Ugh, cinematography at its finest.
Oh, hold up.
Oh, it didn't read. Okay, it's okay.
Oh, I gotta hit the
Oh,
thing.
okay, now we gotta scan it. There we are. 2. Okay, 2.
Oh, I'm 2 for 2. Okay, fantastic.
All right, let's see. Does he have it? 3? This is such a... I would just rather plug in my NES at this point. I'll be faster doing that.
Yeah, as you can see,
Oh, okay, and we got another
if I had a
line.
YouTube channel, this is the point I would say like, comment, subscribe. Oh my gosh, this is actually working.
It is. We're successful. He's deliberate.
No, don't jinx it. We're almost
No,
there.
no. We got it. We're gonna need applause if we get this, okay?
Oh, I
please,
certainly
please be
hope so.
ready. The tension.
Let's try it again.
The tension. This is so much work. I could have put in my AV cables already.
Just got 2 more codes.
I could have pushed the on button already and lost a level or 2. Okay, one more. Drum roll. Oh. Yeah!
So now, warning, Excite Bike is... I don't care. I don't give a damn about Excite Bike right now.
Can you turn up the volume? Do we have music? Come on, we got it.
There we go.
Yeah! I know! Hell yeah!
I was here.
Oh my gosh, does someone want to play really quick? We want to someone. We need. Come on.
Come on up.
Come on up, homie. Okay. Okay, did you pause it?
Yes, pause.
All right, what's your name, friend?
Toby.
Toby. All right, Toby. Do you want to...
So let's
I
do
played
a...
this once on the Switch.
I'll switch online?
Yeah, so the Switch Online thing. So I played it like once. I sucked at it and I stopped playing it.
That's okay. Well, let's give you one round, okay?
All right.
All right, so let's do it that way. You can just hit start to continue.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna very carefully put these cards back in.
Look at this dynamic gameplay. Oh, dang.
This is. What? Okay.
I know. The pressure's on. You're on the big screen, my dude.
I told you I sucked at this.
That's okay.
That's
I'm
the thing.
not bad either.
Everybody does when you start. It's fine.
You gotta learn the way. It's challenging.
So I also have here. I've actually brought my e-reader collection. I don't have all of them, but I have a bunch. So imagine
Show the
getting.
screen.
Yeah.
Show it on the screen here. You got it. Ooh, shiny.
Yeah.
Look, we got like a 2-in-1 view. How are we doing, Toby? How you feeling?
I am.
Didn't know it was playing.
I died. Again.
So yeah, imagine if you're like, I feel like playing golf.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Thank
Give
you.
him a round of applause.
I sucked terribly, but it was great.
Oh, that was great. All right.
That was awesome. Thank you for participating.
So yeah, that's the e-reader version of Clue Clue Land. We also have a little bit more of another thing here because I actually brought this too.
Oh, do you want me to? Well, we can go back really quick.
We don't necessarily need to.
Well,
but
really quick, you could show them.
this is the Famicom Mini version of Clue Clue
And
Land.
we're about to talk about that.
And
we don't-
as you can see, it's basically the same thing because the e-reader card has all the data for it.
Yeah. Ooh. Whoa, you could tell. You know, Connor, you should have just put this one in the first place. What are we doing? What did we...
That's not fun.
That was not fun to watch you swipe cards for 5 minutes. Okay.
I was
so,
actually surprised they actually
I'm
went
gonna move
through.
on. So the Famicom Mini, as you saw right there. So it's the Game Boy Advance cartridge of Clue Clue Land, and it was made super duper special for the Famicom 20th anniversary. But not just Clue Clue Land, they released like a ton of those black box games and classic titles, and they were also released in North America as the classic NES series. But the Japanese launch of this, like the Famicom Mini, like saw
There
way
were
more games.
So many more. Like I have Super Mario Brothers 2. I have Mysterious Murasame Castle. They put like I think Twinbee on there. In the U.S., the classic NES series kind of got what you see in that image there, which a decent amount of stuff, some
Yeah.
good staples, but not nearly as much as what they did
Yeah,
in
Japan always gets everything else. And Europe, too.
Yeah.
So, digital re-releases of lesser importance. Wii U and beyond, every modern Nintendo console.
Wii U, Switch, 3DS, all that stuff.
All the above. We get digital versions of it. And you can play it on your Switch, too, on the...
I actually have the Clue Land on
classics?
my 2DX XL right now, which is actually doing Street Passes. So if you have one with you, Street
very
Pass.
cool. And, however, we see Clue Land repeatedly referenced.
There's so much of this. So this is one that pretty much everyone knows of. They repurposed the golden ingots as the rupees in the original Zelda.
Crazy. No one would think that. Like, literally...
It is not a secret to everybody anymore.
And then Super Mario World, they took the Unira.
Yeah, Unira are a very recurring enemy in Mario, and so...
And, we're not, making this up. This is, a common thing that fans acknowledge that Mario stole the sea urchin.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a little weird. There's multiple WarioWare levels. This is from Twisted.
So, yeah, and this is from Smooth Moves.
Why don't we have a 3D
3D
version of this? That would be fun, a fun little bonus thing. And then another minigame in
This is from
DIY.
DIY Showcase. Yeah, WarioWare has been really good with talking, 9
About
volt,
the weird games.
9 volt stages are all vintage NES and Nintendo.
Like an homage.
Stuff. So that's really cool.
And then Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
Melee,
look at that
a little
lovely
trophy.
high-res artwork.
I don't know if this is a random drop or you have to do something special, but she's acknowledged Little Gloopy.
I'm pretty sure it's a random drop. I don't know.
Okay,
there
a
we
random
go.
drop. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the Unira, if you could say it's from Super Mario World, it was in Clue Land first, so we're going to acknowledge history correctly. But the Unira has
been in
been
there since,
an
Brawl.
item. So we've had Unira for almost 20 years at this point in Brawl, in
Those
Smash.
jerks.
And then DK King of Swing, we also brought a copy of it.
So Bubbles is a hidden character in this.
And it's the last character to unlock, and it's very hard to get.
So this is really cool. DK King of Swing is a game that's kind of inspired by Clue Land in that it's a very similar control scheme. That's why they put the character in there. So I brought my copy of King of Swing just to show, because I had the Famicom Mini and the classic NES, and these have different cart styles than a regular GBA game, as you can see. But I loaded up my copy of King of Swing and looked at, and sure enough,
And we have Gloopy Bubbles in it. I want to say Gloopy. It's so much cute.
yeah, my copy is completed. I bought it used at a GameStop 25 years ago, and Bubbles
The battery
is in
didn't
it.
die. That's impressive.
These have SRAM in them.
So yeah, and they
don't
used
use
the original NES sprite.
It's
They
the
didn't
NES sprite.
they didn't remake Bubbles in any way. So that's pretty cool. All right, so we've been here for almost an hour. So why does any of this matter? Okay, let's be real.
It doesn't. We just wanted to waste an hour of your life. Deal with it.
But actually, this panel, this discussion, it's a love letter. Okay,
Very much so.
Let's be real. So why do we like Clue Land? So Connor, I'm gonna let you start.
So I like Clue Land just because it's such a weird game. Like when you look at it in the NES library, you kind of go, "What the hell is that?" Like, I mean, you've probably played it. It's on a lot of those Famiclone built-in things because it was an early NES title and it's low RAM. But you see it and you just go, "What the heck is that thing?" And so it's something that really did catch my eye when I was starting to collect NES games, and especially with black box games, because Clue Land, fun fact, is one of the rarer NES black box games. The two rarest are Stack Up and Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Stack Up because they didn't make a ton of copies and you kind of need to buy all the blocks.
Because you need to rob.
Donkey Kong Jr. Math because they made about 7 of them and it's Donkey Kong Jr. Math. So those ones run for a lot of money. Clue Land, on average, for a cart runs around $50, if not more. I actually tried to get a boxed copy for this.
It's insane.
Thing. $500.
Yeah, so it's a little spendy.
There's a local game store near me that has stuff like that.
So why do I like Clue Land? Honestly, Connor won't shut up about this game. I'm just kidding.
No, that's actually not completely untrue because the reason we're doing this panel in the first place is because we were sitting.
Because he won't stop talking about it?
We were sitting in an airport terminal, we should do a panel on Clue Land, and Liz is like, why?
So honestly, I enjoy Clue Land. we annually, like us and our friends, we go to like the biggest like arcade convention in Florida almost every year, and like I like just tuning out, playing puzzle games and maze games. I like this sort of genre. It's chill, it's fun. I get absorbed into playing a stupid little game with silly little tasks, and I could just play for hours. Like I can zombie mode, even if I'm bad at it. I just have fun. I don't get upset unless I have like a really good streak and I die.
Like maze games and puzzle games are great. I have a puzzle fighter machine in my den, for God's sake.
So this is why we wanted to talk about
That's part of the
this
reason
game.
why, just because it's interesting.
And here's the thing that's very important. Although there is no proper sequel to Clu Clu Land, Nintendo consistently remembers it. And it's constantly referenced. Like, we gave you a ton of examples over a pretty broad time period of Nintendo kind of bringing up Clu Clu Land in some way or another. And Nintendo tends to regard their history very, very well, with little throwbacks and mentions to old projects and games, or even from, like most things, but like even like the sentiment of remembering something because of someone who worked at Nintendo, like the fond memories. Like they're very nostalgic about themselves.
Like a good example is like the NES golf game. That's one of those things they always bring up because Satoru Iwata was involved with it. Mm-hmm. Or they always, like recently, they've only recently started bringing back mentioning the Virtual Boy after years of it not being a...
There's plenty of stuff from the Virtual era, like that time frame that they talk about, but it's not until really recently with the Switch 2 stuff that they've really acknowledged that. So there's a few things that Nintendo doesn't want to touch, like massive commercial failures, like the Virtual Boy and the Wii U.
Which is unfortunate because both of those are
I love both of them,
underrated systems. But they have a soft spot for what they really do cherish, and so you see a lot of that stuff in there. So,
all right. So, what is the future of Clu Clu Land? Okay, we need some drum rolls.
Unfortunately,
there
really isn't one right now.
But we hope Nintendo continues to acknowledge it.
But there is one hope, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we ready?
One hope.
Are we ready? This is the hope. The hope. Please. All right. So Bubbles, come on. Why is she not in Smash? Ice Climbers isn't Smash.
Apparently, actually, they were going to consider Bubbles for Melee, but they didn't because they couldn't think of a moveset.
Stop. She has fins.
No, that's a complete injustice because Bubbles would be awesome.
The sound waves.
Yeah. No, you've got a moveset here. The up B could be the bumper thing. It's great.
Okay, we need to talk to Nintendo and correct the wrongs.
We are going to go to Kyoto, and we are going to pound on that door of the company that made that game and go, we would like to see Bubbles and Smash Brothers. And they will respond, who are you and how did you get on our premises?
So, in conclusion,
everybody.
Okay, so Clu Clu Land's great.
Clu Clu Land, good.
And I'm so happy that we had a bunch of people show up to this. We were like, oh my God, no one's going to be here.
We really do appreciate it, seriously.
We've had a great stream of people coming and going for the panel. And next year, okay, let's be real, there's a choice, and it's clearly Donkey Kong Country 3.
So I want to do a Yoshi's Cookie panel because I love that game.
The game is
and
not...
Liz really wants to do Donkey Kong Country 3.
We did a puzzle game panel this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like you to vote with your phones. Text Clu Clu Land to 555-855, and then once
you respond, put in DKC3, and then I'll win. Yeah?
Standard rates apply.
And then I just want to say thank you so much for coming. I hope to see you tomorrow at my next panel, Closing the Gender Gap in Video Games. I did this last year at MAGFest, but they gave me a bigger room because no one could fit in it. So I'm very happy at 1:30 tomorrow, panel room 2. And you could find us on the internet, Thick Lizzie and Titan 6. And please take a moment, take out the guidebook app, give us a 5-star rating. Tell MAGFest you want us back to talk about Donkey Kong Country 3. Please.
Or Yoshi's Cookie.
Donkey Kong Country 3.
That is definitely.
And why it's the best Donkey Kong Country entry. Yeah? I think everyone's on board for that, right? But thank you. I really appreciate it. And have a great MAGFest. Thank you.
Yeah, seriously, guys. Thank you so much.